Hi everyone, it's Millie here, your inner critic expert. Welcome back to my channel today, and we're talking about a familiar voice that so many of us deal with on a daily basis, our inner critic. So today we're going to look at 5 ways that your inner critic can impact your life and business, and why recognizing these patterns can actually help you take control and to thrive. So let's start with overhelping. So if you're someone who constantly feels the need to help others to the point of total exhaustion, then that's a telltale sign of your inner critic at work. And overhelping can come from your inner voice saying, you're only valuable if you're useful to others. Or if you're not helping others, then you're not good enough. So what happens then is you're so busy overextending yourself for everyone else, you barely have enough time or energy left, to even try and achieve your own goals. So your inner critic might disguise this as you being a good friend or being a great team player, but really deep down underneath, it's actually feeding on, all the self-doubt that you've got inside of you and the fact that you're actually seeking validation from others. So if this sounds like you, I want you to take a moment and remember that your value doesn't come solely from what you're actually doing for others. And setting boundaries is a great way to help this. Can feel very uncomfortable at first, but it's actually a powerful way to really quiet down that little voice that's in your head. And next up, we have imposter syndrome, and that's a really big one, especially if you're an entrepreneur. So imposter syndrome is when the inner critic voice convinces you that you're actually a fraud and you don't really deserve any success, or that you're going to be found out at any moment. And so it's like an inner critic trap, and it shows up often when you're actually going to step into something new, or you're actually going to reach that next milestone on the ladder. And it's rooted in self-doubt, makes you second guess everything. And it's like your inner critic's ultimate power play, and it tries to keep you really small and safe by making you feel like you actually don't belong. It's pretty pesky, really. So I want you to, the next time that that voice pipes up, remind yourself that nobody starts off as an expert. Confidence builds over time and with experience, and that you really, really don't need to be perfect to be valuable. Now, third on the list is increased stress. So when your inner critic is going and going and going, and it's in the driver's seat, it can cause like absolute immense stress. And then it whispers little things in your ear like you're falling behind, or you're not good enough, you're not doing enough. And then the constant pressure to do more becomes more and achieve more. And then it just keeps piling up on top of each other. And the inner critic doesn't only affect your mental state, it also affects your physical state. So you can end up with headaches and tension in your shoulders and sleepless nights. And then the stress keeps building up and up. And then it feels like you're just carrying a ton of bricks on your shoulders every single day. And that's really, really stressful. So if you notice that your stress levels are skyrocketing, it's time to check in with the inner voice. Take some breaks, delegate, practice self-care. This can all create some distance from that stress-inducing dialogue that's going on inside your head. Next, let's talk about obsession with unrealistic standards, something your inner critic loves. If you constantly push yourself to achieve perfection, trying to do flawless work, have a spotless home, be a great parent, always being there for other people, then that's your inner critic voice convincing you that anything less than perfect just isn't good enough. And then the result is you set yourself up to become burnt out. Now, unrealistic standards keeps you on like that endless cycle of I'm almost there, I'm not quite good enough, I never feel like I can relax. And then it's sort of a tactic from the inner critic, and it convinces you that you're only as good as your last accomplishment. But here's the truth, really, perfection isn't sustainable. We all know that, even though we do it it's not even realistic. So letting go of the need for constant perfection can be really, really freeing. So I want you to try setting achievable goals and remind yourself that progress and taking action is much, much better than perfection. And finally, the fear on camera. That's one of my favorite things to work with. Have you ever frozen the moment you hit record, go live? It's the inner critic doing that little number on you, and it's whispering in your ear that you're going to look silly or ridiculous or forget what you're saying. People are going to judge you and all those sorts of things. The inner critic loves to magnify all of our insecurities, make you feel like everyone watching you is picking on all your flaws. And it leads to procrastination. It can prevent you and stop you from even showing up in your business. And it's because the voice makes it feel so terrifying. So I want you to remember that being on camera is a real skill, and no one starts off being great at it, and no one's perfect at it. So I want you to take one step at a time. Practice. Remind yourself that you're not alone in feeling this way. There's many others out there, and I was one of them once. Show up as you, the real you. Being authentic beats perfection every day of the week. So there you have it. 5 sneaky little ways that inner critic voice likes to show up, and it likes to hold you back, in your life and also in your business. And when you start to recognize these patterns, it's actually the first step in managing and silencing that inner voice. So if you resonate with any of this, please drop me a comment below. Let me know which one of those is most prominent in your life. And let's support each other on the journey. And let's really silence our inner critic voice and allow the cheerleader voice to come out and guide us and support us and cheer us on. So please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be notified when more content on building confidence and conquering that self-doubt that you're holding inside is available. And thanks for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video.